Hey Gav, it is Tuesday the 2nd of November. And I forgot you meant to shave at the beginning of November, so I'm gonna go do that now. Had a shower as well. There's a few things I wanted to talk about today. Too bright. Close that iris. Ah, too bright, even brighter. Number 1, we are freakishly similar. On my list of things to talk about today, I literally had why have superheroes started now and not in the past in this universe? I was going to suggest 5 possible options. Number 1, no reason, we just wanted to. Bad reason. Number 2, a singular event prompted superheroes, like DC's Superman coming to Earth and starting to fight villains. Or in The Dark Knight, how Bruce Wayne just comes up with the idea, but his rise causes supervillains to rise as well. Number 3, they've been around for a long time and we're only following them now. Number 4, be like the X-Men and set up a universe where good guys and bad guys kind of intrinsically exist and interact. Or number 5, set up something that's changed in the world that lets superheroes arise. And that's the kind of area that you went with your ozone layer hole. Which I love, by the way, very cool. This does, however, bring up another question. Is Australia the only country with superheroes? If so, does that kind of make it its own tourist attraction? Like people come over here just to look at the superheroes? Personally, I like the idea of them existing elsewhere in the world, but the comics not making a big deal out of it. Like they're just there, they're background events. Australian superheroes aren't the little brother of American superheroes or anything like that. They're just their own separate thing and they don't really care about the rest of the world that much. Another aspect I was thinking about was, do they age in real time as we write them? For instance, in the DC universe, Batman fought in World War II and was still relatively young in the 80s. I reckon we set a date. Today, Melbourne Cup Day 2010. And it all progresses in real time from there. This means that if the character still exists in 70 years' time, they might die, they might have to retire. But I reckon we had a caveat that their powers make them age slower. So in 2020, the Pulse might have been doing it for 20 years, but he can still look and act relatively young. A bit like Frodo in The Ring. Opening up the iris. The other things I wanted to talk about, NaNoWriMo for National Novel Writing Month. My Nano is going well, I'm up to 2,000 words. I haven't really spoken about what it's about because I don't really know what it's about, it's just whatever I felt like writing. Previous years I've gone in with a plot and structure and characters already worked out, and sometimes I've spent so much time working on it that when it gets to the end of October I'm already bored of it and have to come up with a new plot. And normally in the first 2 days I'll write 20,000 words and then I'll forget about it for the rest of the month. So this time I'm taking it slow and steady. I'm aiming for about 2,000 words a day, and if I can get that, then I'm happy. Right now I'm just working off the hero with 1,000 faces as a kind of basic guideline for my story. I don't think it's going to be very good, but that's not the point of NaNoWriMo. Anyway, that's all from me. I look forward to hearing more about your novel as it develops. By the way, I hope you're not insulted when we say it's probably not going to be canon. I have this idea of actually getting a comic artist and making these comics in the next 5 years or so. And so I reckon we make a rule that anything in the comics is canon. And that means we can do movies and novels and whatever we like with it without risk of messing up the canon. I don't know a lot about comics, but I do know that canon is very important. That's all from me, Gav. I'll see you tomorrow. Not NaNoWriMo for National Novel Reaming Month. Reaming Month?